Hey everybody, this is Ed here from Varsity Gaming, coming with a review of the newly released Dead Space 3. So, this game opens up with the protagonist Isaac Clarke living a sad and dull existence, hidden away from the unitologists that are after him for destroying the markers in the last two games. The plot from here evolves into a standard rescue mission, and at the worst of times, feels like cliched action sci-fi fare. There's really nothing special. The intro to this game is much too long, which is something I've noticed with a lot of games that have come out recently. And the worst thing about it, though, is it doesn't explain the game at all. It doesn't explain the story very well, and it doesn't explain the game controls and mechanics. Many players will get lost once they're in the first couple of chapters because the nuances of the game aren't explained. And you will always forget which is kinesis, which is stasis, how do I melee, how do I stomp. You'll lose precious resources because of this. But this game does shine in many areas. For example, the graphics of this game are beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful looking games I've ever seen. We're nearing the end of the console's life cycle, so developers are maxing out systems, and this is the result. From the color, the lighting, the creature design, it's all beautiful. One of the cool things about this game is the snow design. As you're walking through huge blizzards, you can't see 3 feet in front of you. It creates a truly terrifying atmosphere. The sound design of this game is also very good. From the creature moans and effects to some of the ambient sounds when you're walking the dank corridors, the sound design and graphics add to make incredible, horrific atmosphere in this game. A lot of people felt that Dead Space 3 wouldn't be as scary as the first two, but let me assure you, it is. It's so scary, and moments will get your heart racing and your blood pumping. But I did notice as I was playing through this game, especially the first couple of chapters, that it definitely caters towards people who have played the first two games. That's why I would highly recommend you play it. A lot of the story nuances and the gameplay mechanics you won't really get unless you have played the first two games, especially the first one. But the truly best part of Dead Space 3 is its combat. When you're fighting against regular necromorphs, strategically trying to dismember their limbs and just trying to run away from them, it really is great in that point. And another great thing to add is a really deep and strategic crafting system. You can craft weapons at benches, getting parts, scouring for parts. It really creates almost an RPG-like element to the game that creates strategy and ensures that at the end of the game, no two players will have the same arsenal for Isaac Clarke. Now, another great part of Dead Space 3 is the multitude of New Game Plus modes. This is where you're going to have the most fun with the game because it allows you to focus solely on combat and lets you skip past all the monotonous puzzles, annoying backtracking, and human fights in the game that force you to use a terrible cover system. It will let you focus on the true combat of the game, which is fighting the necromorphs in scary space corridors. But one mode they added to the game that I think is purely unnecessary and really takes away from the game is the co-op. The reason I say that is because when you are playing the single-player mode, you come across sections of the game where, for example, let's say you're doing a puzzle and you have to fight off necromorphs at the same time. This is a scenario that's clearly meant for two people, and if you only have the one person, it puts you at a huge disadvantage, which is why I would wish developers would just stay with one story, one single-player story. So overall, this game, I'd have to give it, in content, I have to give it a 7 out of 10. While the story is a bit lacking, the actual pure single-player part is excellent, and New Game Plus modes will make sure that you continue playing this game for many playthroughs after it. In the graphics, I have to give it a 9 out of 10. It is easily one of the best looking and sounding games I've ever experienced, with only the couple annoying facial animations and voiceover acting that kind of takes away from that. Other than that, 9 out of 10. In the gameplay, 7 out of 10. While the core combat against the necromorphs is super good, there's a lot of monotonous puzzles and human fights that aren't nearly as fun and will get boring after a while. Overall, as a whole package, I'd give Dead Space 3 an 8 out of 10. It is a super good game. I would recommend that you pick it up, but just be wary of those few things. It makes a lot of mistakes, but it's still a great package. This is Ed from Varsity Gaming signing off, and as always, like, subscribe, comment. It helps. Share with your friends. But as always, fuck you. Wait. But as always, dislike if you want to, but if you know what you do, fuck you. You suck. Zed here from VarsityGaming, signing off.